like I can be heard, more or less. Get a little bit more organized here. Alright, I think we're about ready. If you're tuning in, um, I may not immediately see your chat, so just a heads up. Let's go ahead and create a new pilot. We'll just sort of show off some of this. Do, 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 do. Those who don't know, Adder is one of the names of my is the name of one of my great great grandmothers. Rachi Benton. Let's go. Most of this is just relevant for conversation stuff, so it's really more for role playing at this point. Eventually, maybe I'll, like in the next title, get to add a little bit more integration and give a little bit more weight to what this actually does for your character in the long run. Let's go with the former marshal, and we're gonna leave veteran start turned off for this character. All right. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and turn off VSync. Turn this down to about 0.25. Turn anti-aliasing off. Just to be sure, we're gonna put that there. And yeah. Alright. I think you're mostly good to go. Alright. So I'll adjust my controls once I get into this first mission here. Go down to the galley. A lot of this is conversation for you to get introduced to characters who have weight throughout the story. Tobin Young is a character you can pretty much consistently have a conversation with throughout the story. Before I go any further, I'm going to open up my task manager, and just as a sort of safety precaution, I'm going to redirect some CPU here. Set the task priority to high. Nice Discord. Alright, so I've got my HOTAS set up here. One more thing I need to do. Go ahead and fire up TrackIR. Okay, looks like that's good. Hit F12 anytime I need to recenter. So this is all just sort of introductory text. Sort of gets you into the environment, explains some of the user interface. I know a lot of people don't like reading, but I'm going to ask you to basically read, because there's a lot of text in some of these sequences, and I don't have the money to fill it out with voiceover. I'm literally just one person working on this right now. Been that way for a while. Let's see here. Go to Holo Table. Got our starter. It's going to basically load us, start us out with the basic loadout. And if I hit my button here, the launch mission button highlights, I can go down to the hangar. It will stay highlighted, so I can basically fit out my fighter and everything, and then when I'm ready, hit launch mission. That said, go ahead and fire this up.
Greetings, Starfighter. You've been recruited by...
Oh, would you knock it off already? We've got a job to do.
Jeez. Just trying to liven things up a bit. All right. Time to get serious, I guess. Systems online. Kinetic nets online. Capacitors charged. Let's do this.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude.
Greetings, pilot.
Altitude.
I'm Lorne, the Heliosirens mainframe AI. It's about time we got you into the air. Allow me a moment to review your mission schedule. Yes, here we go. Our first objective is a weapons test. And it seems we'll be using our friendly neighborhood mercenaries for target practice. Very well then. I'll mark the location on your HUD.
Alright, so before we go any further, let's go ahead and go into our settings, key bindings, and for HOTAS, I want to switch my role control. Come on. Oh, it looks like we're getting a weird conflict here. very, very strange. I may have to work on that. Alright, so let's go ahead and just abort this. I found a bug I'll have to fix. We'll go do this on the main menu, because I know exactly what I need to switch over. Alright. This is the role. We want this as our role. We want this as our yaw. There we go. That should stick. What I will probably have to do is I will have to go in and when we're on that main menu, I'll have to force
Greetings,
the controls to
Starfighter.
do what I needed to do.
You've been recruited by...
Oh, would you knock it off already? We've got a job to do.
Jeez. Just trying to liven things up a bit. All right. Time to get serious, I guess. Systems online. Kinetic nets online. Capacitors charged. Let's do this.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Greetings, pilot. I'm Lorne, the Heliosirens mainframe AI. It's about time we got you into the air. Allow me a moment to review your mission schedule. Yes, here we go. Our first objective is a weapons test. And it seems we'll be using our friendly neighborhood mercenaries for target practice. Very well then. I'll mark the location on your HUD. Target location reached. The fuel tanks are your primary target. Anything else is a bonus. We've only got so much time for this mission, though, so let's be quick about it. Make the first pass with your cannons.
Incoming. Collision warning. Altitude. Incoming. Altitude.
Trying to take out that SAM before I go any further.
Incoming. 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 Altitude. Altitude. Collision warning. Altitude.
Alright. Come on.
Collision warning.
Rocket in my way.
Altitude. Collision warning.
Going the other way.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude. Altitude.
Yeah,
Thermal
even I
warning.
suck at my own game. Part of it's because I don't play a whole lot of... I don't use the HOTAS consistently. Mostly play with mouse and keyboard. But decided to use HOTAS for this morning. Afternoon. I think it's afternoon now.
Collision warning. Altitude. 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 Collision warning.
Good shooting out there, pilot. Now for your missiles.
Altitude.
Lock onto the next group of fuel tanks and take them out with your missiles on the next pass.
Crashing is pretty common.
Not too shabby,
Altitude.
but we've got to get on the move. The reaction force we
Altitude.
anticipated is on its way here. Proceed to the next location on your HUD.
What up, Modular? What are you doing here? We go third person for this.
In case you were wondering, yes, we're going through the cave. Next waypoint on your HUD.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Almost through. Keep it up just a
Altitude.
little bit longer.
Altitude.
That's it. You should have a clear line of travel to the target.
Altitude.
The generator will be at the
You
top
see
of
my
the
head
warehouse.
snap like this really quickly? It's
Take
probably
it
because
out
I'm
and the
looking at
door
the
should
chat.
open.
Why do we have the mouse activated?
Incoming. Collision warning.
Good.
Altitude.
I like everything.
Incoming. Collision warning.
Get it? Just like it.
Altitude.
Warehouse doors are opening. Be aware, I'm picking up increased chatter on the mercenary frequencies. They are trying to call back the fighters launched earlier. Let's get in
Also,
there
I'm
and
gonna
grab
third
the
person
cargo.
for this. Come on.
Altitude.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude. Altitude.
Get the hang of this eventually. That has been a while since I flew with
Altitude.
HOTAS.
Altitude. 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 Incoming. Altitude.
We can't
Yeah.
afford losses like that, pilot.
Please
I'm
stand
afraid we
by.
have to abort.
Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
It's the old saying, practice makes perfect. Let's try this one more time. I'll get it eventually.
Greetings, Starfighter, you've been recruited by the...
Oh, would you knock it off already? We've got a job to do.
Jeez, just trying to liven things up a bit. All right, time to get serious, I guess. Systems online, kinetic nets online, capacitors charged. Let's do this.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude.
Greetings, pilot.
Altitude.
I'm Lorne, the Heliosirens mainframe AI. It's about
Altitude.
time we got you into the air. Allow me a moment to review your mission
Altitude.
schedule. Ah yes, here we go. Our first objective is a weapons test. And it seems we'll be using our friendly neighborhood mercenaries for target practice. Very well then. I'll mark the location on your HUD. Target location reached. The fuel tanks are your primary target. Anything else is a
Incoming.
bonus. We've only got so much time for this
Altitude.
mission, so let's be quick about it. Make the first pass with your
Altitude.
cannons.
Incoming. Altitude. Altitude. Thermal warning. Thermal warning. Incoming. Altitude. Altitude. Incoming. Altitude. Incoming. Altitude. Incoming. Collision warning.
There we go.
Good shooting out there, pilot. Now for your
Altitude.
missiles. Lock onto the
Definitely
next
not
group of
the
fuel
only one who
tanks
makes
and take them
crashes.
out with your missiles on the next pass.
Loft this
Incoming.
missile. Got it.
Incoming. Altitude.
Been able to dodge most of those missiles, or at least
Altitude.
do a flare defense.
Not too shabby,
Incoming.
but we've got to get on the move. The reaction force we anticipated is on its way here.
Thermal warning.
Proceed to the next location on your HUD.
Incoming.
In case you were wondering, yes, we're going through the cave. Next waypoint on your HUD. Leaving the operations area isn't going to cut it, pilot. Get back into the fight.
Altitude. Altitude.
Come on. Get the nose up.
Altitude.
Almost through. Keep it up just a little bit longer.
Altitude.
That's it. You should have a clear
Altitude.
line of travel to the target. The
Alright.
generator will be at the top of the warehouse. Take it out and the door should open.
Altitude. Altitude. Collision warning.
The warehouse
Altitude.
doors are opening. Be aware, I'm picking up increased chatter on the mercenary frequencies. They are trying to call back the fighters launched earlier. Let's get in there and grab the cargo.
Altitude. Out cargo tractored.
Got it.
Altitude.
You got it. Now get back to Glenwatch. One
Altitude.
moment. I'm tracking fighters returning to town. We can't let them know where you launched from. You will need...
Dogfight, you're going to need as much of an advantage as you can get. Use your RCS system in short bursts to make tight turns, or hold down the button to shoot while flying backwards. The RCS system doesn't quite operate like I think Project Wingman has an AOA mechanism, and then Ace Combat has the high G turn. Here we have the RCS system, and it works differently depending on whether you're in a gravity well or not. So go ahead and play
need
with
to
this a
take them
bit.
out before being permitted to land. I recommend climbing to a higher altitude.
Alright, keep an eye out. Probably already got our scent, so watch the radar as well. Yep, eyes on.
Eyes on the target. Engaging the enemy.
Incoming.
Come on.
Enemies on my six.
Gotcha.
Someone's healing me.
Frontiers Reach, you're probably going to use your missiles more than your guns for dogfighting. Although your guns are still usable, you'll just have to be very careful about how you use them.
Incoming.
Eyes on.
Incoming.
Got him.
Radar appears to be clear, pilot.
Incoming.
Let's get you back. Hangar doors are open.
Under 50% fuel. Still looks like maybe 70% armor. Not too bad. Go ahead and land. Yeah, I'm under the effects of gravity right now, and switch my UI. There we go.
Altitude.
Just barely squeaked it in there. Yeah, missiles are definitely your primary weapon for air-to-air combat. You can use your guns. It's difficult. You know, you're basically flying past each other at kilometers a second. But it is difficult. Okay, now that we've got the parts that we need, we can get to work on the Q field generator. You have our thanks, Adder. Indeed. But we can't sit idle for too long. While the chief engineer is getting the drivers up, we need to spring someone from Lator. So this is the first sort of escort mission. There's a prison you have to break somebody out of, and there is a transport craft that you have to sort of keep safe in the process of that. So we're definitely going to need to equip some things to our fighter, because we just take this basic fighter in, and we're not gonna succeed. We can roll with a basic loadout for right now, but for the outfitting, we're definitely going to need fuel reservoir, and let's go ahead and put on endurojectors. Fuel injectors designed with efficiency in mind. We lose a little bit of afterburner, but we gain a little bit of efficiency to our fuel burn. Go ahead and hit launch.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude.
La Torre is notorious for its harsh conditions.
Altitude.
No one has ever escaped from it either. At least, not till today. Marking the location on your HUD now.
So the Torre is this sort of prison complex inside of one of these mist pits. Mist lakes is what they're technically called. When I get closer, you'll see why.
Prioritize the gun towers. I'll keep watch on the
Collision
skies.
warning. Altitude. Collision warning. Altitude. Collision warning. Altitude. 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 Collision warning.
I don't really need the
Altitude.
flares, but kind of a habit at this point.
Altitude. Altitude. Collision warning.
Turret down.
Altitude.
Trying to save some of my missiles.
Collision warning.
Oh, come on. Trying to go underneath it.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude.
In some ways, you are expected to
Altitude.
kind of do some fancy flying.
Altitude. Collision warning.
Got another one down.
Altitude.
Try not to get too close to that base, so they have missiles to launch.
Collision warning. Altitude. Collision warning. Altitude.
When that ring is spinning, that's letting me know how hot the guns are getting. When it's fully red, that basically means the guns need to cool down.
Collision warning. Altitude. Collision warning. Altitude. 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 Collision warning. Altitude. Altitude. Collision warning. Altitude. Incoming. Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Got it.
Towers are clear. We're launching the
Altitude.
first landing craft now.
Right. First landing craft is away. I'm gonna have to protect it. They will launch fighters.
Enemy fighter launch detected.
Yep. There it is. Where are you? There it is.
Incoming.
Got him. The transport.
This is Briggs. We're deployed and en route.
The landing craft has deployed the ground team and is on its way back to Glenwatch. Stay close and escort. One moment. I'm detecting fighters launching from Khartu Ulzama. Keep them interested in anything but the landing craft.
Incoming.
That.
Someone's killing me.
Gotcha.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Helios
Altitude.
sighting? We've identified the cell block our friend is in. Taking the elevator down.
Incoming. Incoming.
Enemy spotted.
Altitude.
Lieutenant Briggs reports they are
Altitude.
commandeering a transport to get to the cell block. Keep them covered while they move.
Altitude. Collision warning.
Be on
Altitude.
that rover. Crazy.
Altitude. Altitude.
Got a tail.
Engaging enemy.
Eyes on.
Enemy on my 6. Enemy spotted.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Got him. Smooth maneuvers. A little bit. Got him.
Collision warning.
Gotcha. May have to scrap my fighter. We'll see. If I run out of fuel, I'll have to eject.
Eyes on the target. Enemy spotted.
Altitude. 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 Altitude.
Lower my
Altitude.
throttle a little bit, save some fuel. Looks like they're on station and they're going to be trying to get the prisoner out of that prison block there. Mist pools are poison. They try to escape, don't die of asphyxiation.
We're ready for pickup. Holding position not far from the exfiltration point.
The landing craft is just now launching. Keep it up, pilot.
Landing craft is coming back. They're gonna land somewhere near that cell block. We'll have to keep it safe. Assuming I've got the fuel. Go ahead and eject now. Come on. Might need to...
You've got 5 minutes remaining, pilot. Finish the job and get back to the helio siren.
Have the eject button. I know I've got the eject button hooked up somewhere.
Altitude. Altitude.
There's our transport.
Altitude.
And they're landing.
Altitude.
Good work, pilot. Let's get you back to Glenwatch. I'll mark a discreet path back to town for you.
Altitude. Altitude.
Almost. Next one up.
Opening hangar bay. You're cleared for landing.
You're wondering how I know which way to look? That little arrow right there.
Altitude.
It's your wayfinding arrow. Tells you which direction the next objective is in, or which direction your locked target is in. Oh, I hope I got enough fuel to make it.
Collision warning.
I literally ran out of fuel
Launch
just as I was about to
Please
land.
stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
But I completed the mission, so. Got 2,700 back, or 2,700 from that mission. Still a net gain. That's all that really matters. You can crash up to 3 times on a mission before it just auto aborts and like says, yeah, okay, you probably need to reconsider what it is you're bringing into this mission. Alright. Glenwatch is at the very edge of a region that has recently declared loyalty to the Soul Confederacy. They will find us if the shooting starts while we are here. Or if they get the idea to start looking across the lines. So basically, at the start of this, there's a war that's basically, or there's a war that is brewing, and we're gonna get caught in the middle of it if we don't get on the move. And the whole idea behind building this ship, the Heliosiren, is to take people further into deep space and to try and like escape the troubles, basically. Alright, so I'm going to bring a different fighter this time. External reservoir, back. And I'm going to bring some rockets, because there's a capital ship in this mission. Fired it.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude.
We haven't much time. The
Altitude.
mercenaries in question should be entering the area of operation soon. I'll mark a point on your HUD close to where they will be entering. Enemies are entering the battle space now.
Incoming. Incoming. Incoming.
Put out flares. Got him. that. Just caught a glimpse. There we are.
Next wave incoming. They are entering from a different direction. Marking location on your HUD.
Incoming. Incoming.
I'm detecting a Corvette
Friendly's
class
got to him.
vessel at high altitude.
Yep.
Vessels of that size and
Friendly
larger will
wingman.
require you destroy their vital components before they go down. Marking the next location on your HUD.
It's our intercept point. Just barely see the capital ship. Let's go ahead and switch over to our rockets. Oh, snap.
Collision warning.
Oh, snap. I got him once with just a single salvo.
Heads up. I'm detecting the remainder of the enemy's forces entering the AO. They are headed straight for you.
Back to the Seekers. Eyes on.
Incoming. 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 Incoming.
Gotcha.
Incoming.
Radar look like just below me.
Incoming.
No further contacts on radar. Come on back to Glenwatch.
Thermal warning.
Yeah. If you overheat too much, you'll just burn up your craft.
Welcome back, pilot. Opening the hangar doors.
Altitude.
Very close. Almost too close for comfort on that one. Because I crashed in the last time. Alright. Alright, time to start packing and start strapping everything down. Time for us to get off this hellish moon has finally come. We've got a fleet to build. So we're trying to go gather a bunch of allies that were, like they talk about it in the dialogue beforehand. We're basically trying to get out into space to go gather our allies so that we can make the journey together. Can't go anywhere just yet, though. The local mercenaries have a long-range radar station nearby that needs to be destroyed. Could they really track us? Could they really track us off-world? If they get our exit trajectory, they could very well use that in conjunction with readings from our cavitation wake to determine what direction we went in, and then notify other outposts along our trajectory. Alright. Looks like we're good here. But I want to add these babies right here. And I want to add let's get up armored package. Follow table. Alright, so basically we've got to escort the Helio Siren out of this joint. Go ahead and get that done.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude.
The time has come for us to leave this world.
Altitude.
I'm marking the radar array on your HUD now. Get it done, pilot.
We have to go destroy this radar array, and then I'll have to defend the Siren as she's pulling out. Or getting prepped to leave.
Incoming. Altitude. Altitude. Incoming. Incoming.
Come on.
Incoming.
Go. One more.
Incoming. Incoming.
Tracking several hostile fighters entering the area. They are heading straight for Glenwatch. Marking the town on your HUD.
Thermal. Warning. Incoming. Incoming.
More hostile fighters entering the area.
Incoming. Incoming.
Another wave. Where are they all
Incoming.
coming from? Wait a moment. I'm detecting another
Incoming.
wave of fighters. I can't get a read on their IFF tags.
Incoming. Incoming.
This is Caretaker Hendricks, hailing all frequencies. We've received word from the Bridgerton Monarchy that a vessel in this sector is in need of assistance.
Incoming.
This is Lord, mainframe
Incoming.
intelligence of the AEO Siren. Boy, are we glad to see you. We're Dr. Glenn Watson fighting off waves of mercenaries. We could
It's probably
certainly
gonna
use
dip
a
it back
hand.
here.
Roger that, Helio Siren. We're moving to assist now.
Our friends in the monarchy called in help from the caretakers. Let's not slack on
Incoming.
our part, pilot. Give them help.
Incoming.
Opening hangar bay. Get ready to land on my mark.
Incoming.
Smokes, that guy flew right in front of me.
I'm getting fluctuations in the power grid.
Incoming. Incoming.
Damn it! We lost
Incoming.
all power to the hangar. What's going on?
Incoming.
Chatter on town communication channel that someone tried to
Incoming.
sabotage the generator. They're in the process of getting it back up.
How long?
2 minutes.
You heard the computer, pilot. Keep those skies clear.
Cut it with the gossip already. We've got enough trouble as it is.
Incoming. Secondary is dry. Got him.
Incoming.
Eyes on hostile.
Area is secure so far.
Cut it with the gossip already. We've got enough trouble as it is.
Caretaker Hendricks. Yeah, I can definitely get hectic. And that's intentional. I like to think of it like original Call of Duty, where like there's just this massive fight going on and you're kind of in there to turn the tide.
Spotted.
Got him.
Incoming.
Eyes on hostile.
Altitude.
I got power to the door back. Hangar door opening.
Altitude.
You're cleared for landing, pilot. Let's get the hell out of here.
Collision warning.
Close. I would have crashed if it wasn't for the safety that like turns off all collisions once you hit that landing box. So you can kind of cheat a little bit there. Kind of probably breaks immersion for some people, but also makes it so that some people can play it. Yep, definitely. I loved that about the original Call of Duty games, where it was just like this massive battle going on. You had to turn the tide, basically. Alright, so I'm not going to play any more of the story missions. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to change profile. And we're going to go to... We're actually going to do a new character. Call him Steve. Steve is from Bataket, crop duster. We're going to start on veteran. What veteran does is it starts you at the end of chapter 1, and which opens up a few different things. Birth, which allows you to assign wingmen to a wing. And I've actually got one in here already with Blitz and Izzy. Blitz and Izzy are 2 wingmen that you pick up throughout the story. And then let's go to the holotable. Here at the holotable, you'll notice that you have access to the special assignments and the war map. There aren't any current special assignments. That's like it's like seasonal events, and it's all based off of dates, so it just comes around every time the date hits. So like we just had the 4th of July event, which was like big giant disc shaped ship comes down, you have to blow it up. We're gonna go into the war map. Here on the war map there are 2 bots rolling dice over these nodes, and your job is to, again, turn the tide. We're gonna let it do its thing for a second here. Or yeah, basically have to let it do its thing for a little bit. What we're looking for is for one of these star systems to flip to DEFCON, like here. We can go to New Bengal, or Utsukushi Ringu. I can select one of my wings. Let's do... that one's DEFCON 2. Furball. Let's go to Hangar. I've already selected the mission. War map's basically paused. The idea is that when you're on the war map, sort of you're like looking at accelerated time, and so you're sort of watching the war unfold. Here we're going to select a new fighter, something that's good for dogfighting. We're going to go with the Monarchy Mark II Hellfire, also known as the, let's see here, there's actually a name, I think it's called the DeVille Joff Mark II. Loosely based off of the Spitfire from World War II and de Havilland's exploits into the, de Havilland's ventures into fighter craft. We're basically going in for a dogfight, a big giant dogfight. We want to pick, we're going to go with the 33mm cannons. We don't need a tertiary weapon, excuse me. Let's go. We're gonna do the. We got 230 stock engines, Radiant Star. Stick with the stock engines, Enduro Jexers, Rapid Rad, and let's do the Cyclops. Make sure we get the external reservoir, pull up armored kit, and we'll do the Power Pulse package, which gives us basically a little bit more of everything. I'm also going to switch to the chaff launcher, because chaff will stick around a little bit longer than flares, a little slightly more effective. And then let's go check out the, as you see, the cost of this loadout has just gone up. Customize paint. Paint customization is fairly robust, I feel like. Probably be better. Maybe we'll get there one day. Paint pattern. Got a few different patterns on here. Some of these I actually need to correct because they don't lay down quite the way that they should. And let's do a squadron logo. Do the hammerheads. Yeah, we'll stick with hammerhead. And we'll save paint. Space fighter thing. Something for the time being. Back to loadout. And we'll save our loadout. Save. And then we can launch on a mission. And if you remember, we selected a wing of wingmen. And after we launch, or after I launch, they will spawn in.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Mercenaries from adjacent sectors are flooding this one to ward off the Republic squadrons. Get in there and provide assistance to the Republic.
Saw them on radar. There they are.
Incoming.
Who's on target? I'm on target. They got one of us!
Incoming.
Got a follower.
Incoming. Incoming.
Engaging enemy.
Incoming. Incoming.
Sensors indicate another wave is incoming. Keep it together.
Keep an eye out for anything that looks like a shimmer in the void. Twinkling is a pretty good sign that there's light being reflected off of something that's moving.
Incoming. Incoming.
Someone's stealing me. Spotted. Engaging enemy. Enemy spotted.
Incoming.
Someone's stealing me. Enemy on my 6.
That's got him.
You're almost through this pilot.
Next wave incoming.
Incoming. Incoming.
For the record, this would run smoother if I wasn't also trying to stream. I don't have a dedicated capture card hooked up right now.
Enemy spotted.
Got a follower. Engaging enemy.
The last of the mercenary forces have entered the sector, and they brought a capital ship. Show them how little that means to us, pilot.
All I know is landfall, and I don't ask questions.
Enemy spotted. Incoming.
Enemy is on my sector. Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted. Enemy on my sector. Enemy.
Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted.
Moving on target.
It's down. Down. I think I see the capital ship off in the distance. Just off to the right, upper right there. Yep, that looks like it.
Collision warning.
That was close.
Collision warning.
Jeez Louise.
That's the last of them, pilot. Let's get you back on board and that bird patched up.
Thermal warning.
landing markers.
Collision warning.
There's a lot of room for error with landing. Trying to make it fairly forgiving. Alright. That was a pretty good take. Now if I go back to the war map here, you will see the influence shift for New Bengal. Now we're at DEFCON 3. Oh, not anymore. Public just took the system. Now, because we just took that node, we're actually going to put extra stress or pressure. The Republic's going to get to put more pressure on this node than the Confederacy. The Confederacy has full logistics if they have even one node connected, but the Republic gets more logistics for every system connected to a node. So there's a little bit of strategy here. Do a Spec Ops hunt, and I'll leave the wing here at home. Go to the hangar. I'm gonna change my loadout slightly. I want rockets for this. For Spec Ops Hunt, what we're basically doing is we're going out into a level, and we're looking for special operations teams that have landed somewhere in the sector, and we need to take them out.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Altitude.
The DG-11
Altitude.
drop glider is a new piece of equipment for the Confederacy. Reports from around the frontier suggest it is being used to insert teams into hostile territory from low orbit, slipping in under the radar. Good hunting, pilot.
By now you're probably wondering, how are you supposed to see anything in this? Well, that's because we're after gonna go beneath the cloud deck here. Find a good opening. You can just fly through the clouds, but it's probably wise to find a decent opening and then fly through that opening so that you can see where you're going. Got some on radar. Eyes on.
Incoming. Altitude. Incoming. Altitude. Altitude.
Hit the wrong button.
Altitude.
There's the guided
Altitude.
missiles. Want to be able to come back around, loft these missiles in. And it's down. So if you're paying attention, the little green line that sort of points down right there in the center of the screen, That's your gravity drop indicator. That's how much rounds are going to drop over a distance of 2 kilometers. Oop. The edge of the map.
Altitude. Altitude.
Good luck, brother.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
This is a neutral town. If I get too close to it, they're going to shoot at me just like an enemy
Incoming.
would. Or a Confederacy-friendly town would. Difference is, neutral towns will launch VO-33 fighters, and Confederacy-owned towns will launch F-88s. But otherwise, everything else is the same. We want to eliminate these Spec Ops teams before they get a chance to flip the sector.
Altitude. Altitude.
Don't see anything on radar yet.
Altitude. 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 Altitude.
First one that we blew up.
Altitude. Altitude. Incoming. Altitude. 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 Altitude.
I'll be able to find these things sometime soon. There's only 3 of them. Maybe I saw something over here on my radar. Might have been some fighters.
Altitude. 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 Altitude.
Maybe I will need to land and reload. Refuel at least. Oh, got something. Yep, there they are.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Pushing guided missiles.
Altitude.
Got him.
Altitude. Altitude.
Sorry about that, I had to snap my neck. Getting old.
Altitude.
Oh, looks like that's the last one.
Altitude. 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 Collision warning. Altitude. Collision warning. Altitude. Altitude.
That's all of them, pilot. Come on back and let's get ready for the
Thermal
next one.
warning. Altitude. Collision warning.
Hey, guns. Alrighty. So, that's Frontiers Reach as of today. I'm gonna take a break and might be back on later to post some things. Other than that, I'll catch you around and, well, classified dangerously?